Hey everyone, welcome to Sims Life channel. In this episode, we're going to be talking about a review of January, starting with our 5-star property owner that aired on January 4th. And we got all A's in our computer science class. And then we built our apartment because 5-star property owner requires us to own an apartment. So we did 4 units in this apartment building. I did have somewhat limited funds, so it did take pretty much all of everything that we have saved, which is pretty remarkable that we had over 20K in sim loans because neither one of our adult sims work at all. And Faz is a full-time stay-at-home dad, while Lily is a full-time college student. Because our theme of all these videos is 100 babies, 13 degrees, and 60 aspirations. Can she do it all before she passes away? Of course, I understand 100 babies is not completely doable, but I am just curious to see how far we can get with the same sim on a long lifespan. So here's our apartment. We're doing a 2-story, so 4 apartments total, and we're gonna just mirror it with the bottom and the top as much as possible, doing variations of 2 bedrooms with 1 bathroom, 1 bedroom with 1 bathroom, and 3 bedrooms. So the bigger apartment with 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom will be where we're gonna live, because I wanted to be on site to try to do the 5-star property aspiration, which ended up being broken because you can't do an inspection, and if you can't do an inspection pass, it does not go to the level 2 of the aspiration, which I found very frustrating. In apartment, this is all from For Rent expansion pack, and anytime that you do a different unit, it's going to give you a different color coding for the walls. So I decided why not? We're going to do themes of the colors. So number 1 unit is all blue, so I matched blue wallpaper with blue flooring, and then as much of the object as possible with the same colors. And then we did a number 2 apartment in pink. The number 3 is in yellow, which is where we're going to live with our 8 Sims. And then number 4 is actually a purple color. So we're going to color match as much as possible. And then we tag those into that unit specifically. And then we get some tenants. If you want to see a full video of Property Manager is Broken, please check that out. That aired on January 4th. And then some other ones. Now we're going to start with all the furniture. And with only about 8,000 sim loans left, we didn't get very far with all 4 apartments, but we were able to furnish a lot later in the video as well. So as we did the kitchen, bathroom, bedrooms, the blue one was pretty much on par. I also put a microphone in there for entertainment. And then we moved on to the pink apartment. We got the bathroom furnished and the kitchen furnished. And a bed that we also found that was purplish in color. And then it was moving day. So we didn't touch the 4th apartment, purple one, at all because we ran out of funds. Since we were moving from another apartment, we just kept all of our furniture and then moved into this lot. So I had all these objects from the other house. And if you don't know from my other videos, that trash can is 1,200 sim loans. And anytime you drag a dish or a diaper or a bottle to it, you get 80 sim loans in return. So a lot of this is happening because of that trash can, because I'm not going to work, and I really haven't done much of the painting to earn that money either. So now that we're almost done moving in, we'll start playing the game again. It's this very quick move-in day. And I kept all the original furniture. I didn't do any upgrades. I didn't change very much. I did delete some of the cribs so we can get toddler beds because our first set of twins, Belladonna and Aster, are about to age up and they can't sleep in cribs anyway. So I did sell 2 and then got the 2 beds. And we're going to do some more lighting. And then the purple one, we ended up having 4,000 sim loans left over. So we're going to just deck out as much as we can until we are completely broke. So 2 bedrooms, and then we just started the kitchen. Then I realized we didn't do any of the painting or the floors. But here's the kitchen. Like I said, just low budget. There we go. Happy birthday to Belladonna and Amelia. So they all aged up from infants to toddlers. And then we also had all A pluses. This is our last class for our second degree. And then we had elderweists also age up. And please hit that subscribe button to watch further more because we are doing this every Sunday. We did a whole episode about him proposing to her, and we got married with all 6 children being toddlers. And then I decided we're going to build a basement because I really wanted to do a laundry room. And with 4 units, I wanted it to be spacious and I didn't want to build out that in every unit. So I just chose to use the basement. And I also wanted to do like a gym, a theater room, more of like a rec room, if you want to say. Instead of doing like a clubhouse, I just did a basement. But we copied all the lights and then we built out our laundry room. So I used 3 sets of washers and dryers. In order to do laundry, you do need the game pack laundry day. And it comes with the washer and dryer, the hampers, the decorations, and it just adds more of a realistic aspect to the Sims world because we all need to do laundry. It's always a thing in everyday life. And as you can, if you watch our full videos, you can see how annoying this laundry actually turns out to be. But again, it adds that realistic nature of it. So that's our laundry room. And then we started doing our gym, and I ran out of some loans. We only did 3 pieces of equipment for the gym, but there is so much more to come for that. And then we started our event on Saturday because it was downtime for Lily. We got married at San Machon in the city living expansion pack. So we got married. There's fireworks in the background. It's very cute. And then it was a disaster when we came back home because some of the toddlers decided to starve themselves. But you can check that out in the full video. And then we maxed out our skills finally for Aster because Belladonna was ahead of Aster almost the entire time. So we aged up Belladonna first. So she's our oldest child, and now she is going to be a child. And then we also aged up her twin, Aster, who was slightly behind Belladonna, but it was fine. And we got perfect toddlers, so they got 2 skills. And then we started a new week, so we spun that wheel, and we got Lady of the Knits for our next week, and we got all an A plus from our last class, which also finished that degree, which was super exciting. So then we re-enrolled into the university, and we ended up picking our art history degree as our 3rd one. So after this degree hits, we only have 10 more to go. And unless we have an odd number of classes, we're always going to take 4 to make this as most challenging as possible. And then we had a tenant that had a curse, and I chose to destroy the book, and I ended up getting cursed for the rest of the episode. So exciting. And we maxed out skills, and then there was a fire. I don't know how or why the bed caught on fire, but it sure did. And then it jumped through the wall and caught the other beds on fire. And then we had a 3rd fire, not even like 2 hours into the game, of the laundry machine the dryer caught on fire. We finally maxed out skills for Columbine and Camellia together because they are twins, so we were going to age them up together. So happy birthday to Columbine. She's aged up to a child. And then her sister, Camellia, is also aging up to a child. And then we both got perfect toddlers because and we got another fire. Ironically, the oven caught on fire, which caught the light switch on fire, the light. And then we spun again, and our other video is called A Good Vampire. And as we started this episode, we had another fire in the laundry room, and this time it was a tenant. It wasn't even my household. So through all the tensions, we got Daisy to also age up to a child. And like I was saying, all of our children have to have max skill levels before we can age them up. So I'm making this a little more difficult for the 100 baby challenges. And then we got all A pluses in our first round for art history. We signed up for another term for another 4 classes. So we had 5 classes left in total as we were doing the good vampire aspiration. And then I decided, whew, we got some more sim loans, so we need to spend it. So we ended up adding more to the living room, to the pink apartment, bookshelf, TV, some fun things like the dartboard, computer setup, just so it's more appealing. And then we maxed out skills for Elderwith, so we were able to age her up as well. So then we ended up with all 6 children in the household on our vampire one. So yay, Elderwith aged up and she's Master Bear. And then I decided 6 children plus 2 adults, that's 8 in a household, and I have 1 bathroom. So I decided to change one of these rooms in the basement into a bathroom. I was hoping for these stalls, but the room is just too small. So we ended up just doing 1 bathroom by the gym, and of course it is a shared venue. And then I ended up failing to be a vampire, which is very sad. And then I do this huge recap on this episode where I keep track of the 100 babies, so they're all children. I keep track of my 13 college degrees. So I graduated drama and I also graduated computer science in these between these 4 episodes. Then I also started art history, so we are 7 of 12 credits. Then we also dive into that aspirations because I want to know how far am I with each one. So this is a great way of me keeping track of where we're at. So like friend of animals, we only have to do a cat and dog in the household, which we're not going to do probably for a little bit because that takes up a household spot. And then we skipped a bunch of ones that we've not touched. Lady of the Knits, we got to level 3. We have to do 10 more knittables and a knitted sweater to show off. We did level 3 on actress, and all level 3 needs to be done. Super parrot, we made it to level 2, and we have to discipline 5 times. Successful lineage, we just need to do homework 3 times and an A in high school for a child. And then level 3, a child get married in a happy family. Master Chef, we just have to cook 5 excellent meals. And Fortune, we got to level 3, but we need 75K earned and 35K in reserve, which I always want to go broke, so that's going to be taking me a while. 5-star property owner, I'm still on level 1 because the inspection pass did not work, which is very unfortunate. Renaissance Sim, we're on level 3, but we have not actually done any careers, so I'm just kind of stuck on that one right now. We're at level 3 on Computer Whiz, but we need to get a job in order to move on from that one. Nerd Brain, we're on a level 2, but we need to craft on something on the woodworking table, which I don't have one yet, so kind of just stuck there. Academic, we are level 2, but we need to do guest lectures and finish a course with an A, which we have been doing. I just haven't been selecting Aspiration when I finish my classes. And then this one, nature, we have not done much, but we did do Jungle Explorer. And that was a full episode, and we were at level 2, but we just have to examine traps. Popularity, we haven't done very much on this one, but party animal, we need to still introduce ourselves to 10. And same thing with friend of the world. Jokestar, we need to be funny to 5 Sims. And everything else we have not yet touched. Wellness and werewolf, we've also not touched. So this is my tracker. It's super helpful. And please hit that like and subscribe button and just stay tuned on our next one. So our next one is going to be about beach life, the aspiration, and the twins age up. So hit that subscribe button so you can see that on our next Sunday on February 2nd. And then we're going to do some reviews at the end of the month just for a shorter snapshot of this entire challenge. Thank you so much for watching, and of course, happy simming.